2020 is a crazy year. We have a pandemic. We can't stay within 6 feet of each other. There's a presidential election coming soon, and movie theaters are closed. But Borat is back. Oh man, Borat is back.
14 years ago, I released a movie film which brought great shame to Kazakhstan. But now I was instructed to return to Yankee Land to carry out secret mission.
Hey guys, Shalana here. Welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's video, we're talking about Borat's subsequent movie film, or Borat 2 for short. And after 14 long years, decade and a half almost, Borat is back, and he's even more timely now than he was back in 2006 because the world has changed. The US has changed, and Borat wants to make Kazakhstan great again, and he's going to get in with the president as well as the president's pussy-grabbing posse in order to make this happen. And what is the best way you get in with the president? Can I say this on YouTube? Because I might get demonetized. You bring him a teenage girl. That's Borat's master plan. Borat's gonna bring his 15-year-old daughter to the US and give her off to Michael Pence. That way he can get himself in with the president and Kazakhstan can rise to greatness and be great. What makes Borat 2 so good is the fact that this movie comes out not only on an election year, but during a pandemic. And what makes Sacha Baron Cohen such a genius, what makes Borat so funny, because this movie, my God, Rudy Giuliani, the scandal beyond, all right, full spoilers ahead. This movie deals with real life people and real life recording. Baron Cohen's being sued over this movie. He has Giuliani on camera, and Rudy Giuliani is wild. Yo, explain this to me. How are you a high-ranking politician, a lawyer, and you get finessed by Borat to be in a fake interview, and then you try to smash his daughter in the hotel room of the interview? Yo, Rudy Giuliani is wild, and this entire movie just shows just how absurd certain ideologies are, and which is what makes Borat so great, which is what makes Sacha Baron Cohen so funny, is the fact that he has the ability to troll and bring out stupidity from the more conservative leaning people of this country. For example, this entire movie is his journey across America, and he has to bring his daughter to Michael Pence, so he has to make his daughter more presentable, more American, more ladylike. So he goes through the heartland, Texas, Atlanta, gun rallies, everywhere you could think of where the American spirit, America the Great, is prevalent, he's there. This guy sat down with the Attorney General of Texas and got him to do this.
You fist me. Now I fist you? What do you prefer? You fist me or I fist you?
Same time.
Fist each other. Yeah.
That is the Attorney General of Texas. What is so funny about Borat and what is so timely is the fact that certain ideologies are so ludicrous, so laughable, so ridiculous. You don't understand, like, if you subscribe to certain ideologies, you don't understand just how crazy this shit is. Like, so Borat has to take a more exaggerated approach into that to actually bring about a certain type of messaging, so you can actually sit back and think, this shit is dumb. Oh my God, I can't stop laughing. This movie is hilarious. Oh my God, like, I can't say half the jokes, guys. So if you guys really want me to get into the nitty gritty of Borat 2, check out my podcast. The link is in the description box below. Because on the next episode, we dive into the Borat. We talk about some of the jokes. We talk about some of the humor, because it's YouTube. Like, I can't say certain jokes. There's a joke about him in a synagogue and a long nose. But what makes this movie that much funny is the fact that we've moved in a certain direction as a collective, as a nation, as a country. We are no longer letting crass humor fly. We're in the PC culture, and in Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat comes through, and Borat he doesn't give a fuck. He's from Kazakhstan. Like, he gives zero chills, zero fucks. So on his trek, he not only meets with the Texas Attorney General, he goes to a doctor in Texas, a woman's doctor, and he tries to have, damn, I can't say that word either. His daughter ate a toy baby, so they go to a doctor to remove the baby. And the parallels between removing the toy baby and removing an actual baby, you can already tell the parallels. Again, I can't say it on YouTube. But then the doctor says, we don't do that. They're showing how reproductive rights for women are still archaic in some states. But then Borat goes even further, because in this movie, Borat is famous. We saw the 2006 movie. Like, Borat can't walk around like Borat, so he has to dress up as an American. So you know what he does? He gets a fat suit. He gets a fat suit and fakes to be a fat American, and he blends right in. So he goes to the doctor and tells this doctor, I put a baby in her. We need to remove the baby. And the doctor's like, even if you put the baby in her, we can't remove the baby. But he's kind of alluding to, hey, if a father takes advantage of a teenage daughter and she gets knocked up, what is the morally right thing to do here? It would be to remove said child, but that's not the case. And not just those things like that. Baron Cohen actually dives deep into his role as Borat. Like, he went to the CPAC convention to get Michael Pence, and he hid in the bathroom in a fat Trump suit for 5 hours, timing it perfectly. It's been well documented. It's on the news. Like, he comes out in a Trump suit and he's rushing the stage, and I'm sitting here like, he stood in a bathroom stall, people going in and out, shitting, peeing, doing all types of things. The dedication to his craft, the wanting to expose just how ludicrous some of these ideals are. I really want to get into the Giuliani stuff, but before we get there, Borat's character quarantined with a couple of conspiracy theorists, and throughout the movie, you're seeing just the ideology. He goes to a rally, a gun rally, and he gets them to sing along a racist chant with him that he made. And the fact that they're just following whatever he says because it fits talking points, it takes a mirror. And I want to say this is not just indicative of right-wing ideology. This is also indicative of leftist ideology as well, because we regurgitate talking points. People aren't nuanced in their interpretation of what's going on. Granted, certain ideologies leaning in certain directions, two extremes are never the right way. But when you're just regurgitating talking points and you're just shouting at each other, you're not understanding, you get a man who's able to come in a costume, say what you need to hear, you let him stay in your house for days, killing coronavirus with a pot and a pan, and it's like, oh my God, this movie is hilarious. This movie is timely. Some of the deeper messaging behind this movie, like, I wish I could talk freely, but because, again, this is YouTube and I'm not trying to get demonetized, check out the podcast because I want to get into some of these things. But let's talk about Rudy Giuliani. Oh, Rudy. So, as if to actually perpetuate the narrative Baron Cohen wanted, he got Rudy Giuliani and his fake daughter to actually sit down together in a room to do an interview. And I'm sitting here like, is that Rudy Giuliani? Yes, that is Rudy. How is Giuliani here? But not only does he get him here, they have the interview, and then the daughter takes Giuliani to the back room, and this guy starts unbuckling his pants, ready to smash on camera. And he's denying this, of course. Like, it's trending all over Twitter. He's denying this. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, I seen you. Your hand was in your pants, bro. You're Rudy Giuliani. You're trying to fuck. Of course, Borat comes in and stops everything from happening. But what I want to really get into when it comes to this movie is the fact that the messaging behind this goes far beyond just right-wing conspiracies are crazy. It just shows how certain ideologies and following them blindly is ludicrous. Not just that, this movie also shows the evolution of women's rights and just understanding that women are people too, and the humanization of women. Because this movie is about him and his daughter, their cross-country journey, and Borat as a father learns to respect his daughter and how rights are happening and how certain ideologies restrict the movement of women. They restrict healthcare for women. They restrict their roles in society. And it's like, this is extreme. Kazakhstan is extreme. But really, if you look at it as an analogy for just certain ideologies, certain conservative values in which the restriction of women occurs often, you'll be like, bruh, I could totally see y'all putting women in cages and just driving them around. This movie is crazy. But guys, that's my brief description of Borat. If you guys want more, definitely check out the podcast. The link is in the description box below. The Magical Negro Podcast. New episode is going to talk about Borat. And we really can talk about certain aspects and certain ideologies that I really can't get into in a YouTube video. I wish I could. I really wish I could, but we all know how YouTube gets. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, binge on.